And there goes another one.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of the Locked On UCLA podcast. I'm your host, Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer. Thanks for making this show your first listen each and every day, your team every day. So hit that subscribe button, hit that download button, and thanks for your support if you're an everydayer. Of course, the big news, as much as we want to prop up UCLA basketball, it's UCLA football retaining Chip Kelly, despite reports going back and forth. Will he be fired from multiple sources in multiple states? And then all of a sudden, he's getting retained, and that is the latest by UCLA. The banner of keep or fire Chip Kelly, all the goofy nonsense flying over UCLA. I don't even know what's going on right now. And now, maybe just the beginning, the bursting at the seams, if you will, of the transfer portal exodus we might see from UCLA. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnCollege and make a first deposit match up to $100 if you use the code LockedOnCollege. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Man, oh man, this is a unique one. UCLA, as of this podcast, speak of transfer portal trackers, that's going to be an impossible mission for nearly anybody to keep track of with so much talent. I believe people are going after Cam Ward in Washington State. You've got Duke's quarterback in the portal. Well, for UCLA, the player that announced personally he's heading into the portal is the 6'4", quote-unquote listed as a running back, more a tight end at UCLA, the Orem, Utah native Carson Ryan, who is the fourth leading receiver by yards, tied for second on the team with receiving touchdowns, and he is heading to the portal. And while the portal doesn't officially open until early December for the early window, he is joined along the lines of Keegan Jones and then Cam Brown. Both of those are grad transfers. So while Ryan can't officially put his name in to the portal, he's announcing he will be on his way there. That is why you've probably heard the announcement, which makes you wonder, since all of this is coming on, is that worrisome for someone in Chip Kelly that believes so much in getting the portal? Man, my social media philosophy is the same as Chip Kelly's high school recruiting philosophy. You probably aren't going to see much from me in social media, and you haven't seen a lot from Chip Kelly in high school recruiting, and you just hope not too many people decommit with what might be a mass exodus from this team. I have no inside information as to who might be going, how many, what's the numbers. But if this is an indication that within the story after the loss to Cal, these are all guys that could certainly be frustrated with their usage rates, right? Cam Brown came to UCLA already transferring once and didn't have the biggest and best campaigns. Keegan Jones, someone we would have all asked to see more of this season after spectacular touchdown runs against Wazoo. Limited opportunities to return kickoffs, instead watching Colson Yankoff do that all season before fumbling in the regular season finale against Cal. And now you've got Carson Ryan, who was someone seemingly coming into his own, blocking-wise, receiving. He had 3 receptions for 69 yards against Utah, so in his home state had his best game. 3 receiving touchdowns, last coming against Arizona, a couple of zeros in the receptions department, and then 2 against Cal to end his UCLA career seemingly for 13 receptions, 205 yards, 3 touchdown receptions. Not too many people really blowing up the charts in terms of the receiving stat line. J. Michael Sturdivant transferred from Cal to come here to UCLA and didn't blow up numbers-wise, and I'm not sure UCLA utilized him that often. So one wonders, I've seen all the talk about the play calling, utilization of certain players, personnel decisions by Chip Kelly, anywhere from quarterback all the way across the offensive side of the football. And now everybody's frustrated. And you're seeing guys slowly leave. And that is a scary thing. I want to come out, be positive, and enjoy the fact that, hey, maybe UCLA can have a great season, continue growth defensively, hopefully under Danton Lane into the Big Ten. But with Carson Ryan leaving, the third name, one wonders, when will it end? And can UCLA get enough to replace? Can they get enough to replace? the offensive line is the first thing UCLA needs to try and fix what they have in the portal, what they didn't get in the portal last year. They have some recruits coming in to help shore up the offensive line. I'm not sure how ready they'll be as true freshmen stepping into Big Ten country, trying to block some pretty good defenses they'll probably play next season. Of course, everybody's going to have so much turnover, whether it's a lot or a little, that you can't truly project the next season. But here we are, already the third name in, the first non-grad transfer who is expected to leave, personally putting on his page that he is heading out the door at this moment. Now, these guys can change their minds. They can do different things. But one wonders, hey, there's a quarterback room with 3 quarterbacks, all with a year plus of eligibility. Year or more. And no, I say more, but I'm not saying specifically anything about Dante Moore right now. That's not where I'm going. I've got no inside information. We're not even going to touch that right now until some information comes up. But there's many guys who are probably frustrated with the results. You got defensive guys who maybe with the dream campaign would like to stay an extra year if they had eligibility instead of going to the NFL draft. It's not the best situation right now. UCLA fandom is super, super frustrated with what Chip Kelly has to offer. And with Carson Ryan leaving, that just makes me a little worried about what's to come in the week prior to the official opening of the early transfer portal. The week prior. Goodness gracious. I know it's closing in a little less than a week. It's still a bit scary. And I can't wait for better or for worse to see what UCLA is going to get. Is the joke that they're going to go after all the Ivy Leaguers, maybe for a kicker, maybe to fill up holes and patch up the offensive line? You can't do that too many times. But Chip Kelly's going to live and die by the portal, just like basketball teams live and die by the 3-point shooting percentage. And hopefully Chip gets a lot more hits this year than he did in this season. There's a lot of hype coming into this year. I rode the hype train. I was right there. I was with the conductor, waving the flag, excited. Now this will be a bit scary. 3 players already out, and probably more to follow, and hopefully no extremely big names to leave. Now, as I've seen noted, I forget who read it. Maybe it was I don't know. Maybe I think it was Bro Report that noted on their talk about Carson Ryan, how when you bring people in from the portal, the trick is when they transfer once, that burns their one free transfer. So then you got to sit out the next year unless you're a grad transfer. So you bring guys in like J. Michael Sturdivant, you bring guys in like Kyle Ford, and unless they're going to go and immediately graduate and have all their credits right away or go test the NFL draft, which I'm not sure anybody is barking up the NFL draft right now in the mock draft other than Latu, and there's some other pieces that are good, don't get me wrong. You can hold on to them because they might have to burn a year of eligibility or sit a year before they can play again. And now UCLA might have that to their advantage. I'm not sure how much that's going to work to their advantage in the future. And how many of these incoming freshmen that just came into UCLA in the class of 23 are going to dip? That is something to keep an eye on. And it's going to be ever-changing. How much of the coaching staff is going to change? Is it going to be on the offensive side of the football? Is it mostly trying to keep the defensive side of the football? I don't know. It's a little scary, and I can't wait to see what goes on next for UCLA. Shorter episode of Locked On UCLA. We'll get to our sponsors in just a moment. And hey, stick around for the 8 clap, baby, here on Locked On UCLA. PrizePicks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. It's just you against the numbers, not sharks, not pros. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. They've got a specials league where you can combine players in different sports and leagues between a combo like 3-pointers made and receptions between your maybe favorite NBA player, your favorite NFLer. Who knows? And you can get both games in and double that. Or you can go to the promos tab to view the community plays and see how your entries stack up against some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community. You got injury insurance. Even if your player gets injured in the first half, it reboots the player who exits in the game, and they're the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. That's why you got to go rush to prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege. Use the code LockedOnCollege for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege. Use the code LockedOnCollege for a deposit match up to $100. Daily fantasy sports made easy. And while I know everybody's calling for Chip's job, that's not the one that's open at UCLA. If you're a small business, though, and you're hiring, you want to have as many top-tier candidates as possible to interview. That's why you want to check out LinkedIn Jobs. They've got the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. Because it's not just another job board. It's a vast network of more than 1 billion, with a B, billion professionals, making it the best place to hire. And hiring is easy when you got many quality candidates. You can find a qualified candidate within 24 hours. That 86% of small businesses can get a qualified candidate within a day. And with LinkedIn, the process intuitive, quick, and easy. They got features that help write job descriptions, make the process even easier and quicker. All you got to do is post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Well, that's going to wrap it up for a short edition of Locked On UCLA. We'll get more into basketball moving forward, what the Bruins are looking to look like in their next non-conference clash against UC Riverside. Stay tuned for some post-game analysis for that as well. But hey, now we got to stay tuned. Transfer portal, this season is going to get nuts. What's Chip Kelly going to look like? If for some reason UCLA changes their mind, I have no idea what it's going to look like. 3 players, 3 of them are in the portal or expected to be in the portal. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hands up, Bruins fans. 8 clap time, baby. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked On UCLA. Go Bruins.